So starting with the data that you've released for the month of February, how have different segments performed in the latest retail sales data for the month of February, and which segments registered the highest growth while any segment lagged behind?
I think all the segments performed quite well. We had construction equipment, which was lagging behind by about -1% compared to last year, February. Um, but I think in every other segment, there's been a 20 plus percentage growth. When you look at the overall percentage was about 26%. The two-wheelers grew at about 25%. You look at the passenger vehicles was at about 26% growth. CVs was at about 29%. Three-wheelers was 24.5, and tractors were perhaps the highest at 36.35. So I think all the performance has been great. We are quite happy with it. Of course, CE has been much better than what it was a few months ago. It's been slowly picking up year on year. More importantly, we are also seeing that an acceleration which took place in September last has been actually continuing for the last 6 months. First 5 months, which is April to August, we saw about a 5% growth in the industry, a 3% growth in the industry. Now we take the cumulative 11 months, which is April till February. We are seeing actually a 12% growth in the industry. So, which means the industry is healthy. The economy is doing well. So the car buyers, the bike buyers, and the buyers of other automobile products are responding to it. We've also seen that there are a lot of new products in the market in terms of EVs, in terms of CNG, LPG, hybrids. So this is also exciting the market, exciting customers to come on and shop. So yeah, the rural demand again has been quite strong. It's been strong for the last 2 years. We are seeing that continue. The urban demand again is back. We are seeing good urban consumption from our customers.
Okay, now because you've already given some of the factors like GST 2.0 is that you were referring to when you were talking about September and the growth translating in the month of March. Apart from these factors, the GST 2.0 and what were the other factors that contributed to the growth that we're looking in the month of February?
As I told you, the rural segment is doing well because the harvest has been great there. We're also seeing a lot of consumption happen there in the two-wheeler segment, in the passenger vehicle segment, and in the commercial vehicle segment. The minimum support prices have been very helpful for the farmers. So the rural sector is being doing well. Apart from that, we also had festivities. Eid is coming up. We had Navaratri. So these things are really keeping the market buoyant. The wedding season again is there in a lot of parts of India. So that again would help in terms of accelerating growth and in sometimes also sustaining it for a longer period of time.
Okay, so in order to understand the outlook for the retail industry, what do you see for the month of March as well as for the upcoming quarter? And do dealerships have enough inventory to meet the demand?
We have enough inventory to meet the demand. We are talking about 21 days inventory being more than enough to meet demand. We were as high as 85 days, but thanks to the industry hearing us out, we are able to reduce that to about 27 to 29 days. This further needs to go down by a week. We need to get to about 21 days for it to be optimal inventory. I think all of us are working towards it. We're also seeing that the next quarter being strong, March also be expecting record numbers to happen in March because there are good pipelines, there are good models which have been introduced recently. Moreover, we also having the depreciation benefit of 7.5% in case vehicles are bought by companies, and a lot of companies do buy vehicles towards end of the financial year end. So all these things are looking positive. We don't see any major headwinds which are of concern. So these factors would help us push ourselves further and hopefully record a few months would follow even after the last 6 months of record performances.
So in my last question, I would like to understand from you the tensions that we're seeing in West Asia, the conflict that is going on. Now, definitely it is going to have some impact on the oil prices and also, the supply chain. Now, because you've said that, March and the next quarter also looks good, but the impact of, this conflict, how do you anticipate, this conflict translating into probably, demand, fall in demand or probably fall in supply? So please tell us your outlook.
Of course, when you talk about oil, we have strategic reserves. We also have normal reserves, which probably last a few months. And I don't think we need to fret too much about it at the moment. Again, coming to component supplies, it is not that it is flown in or it is shipped in and next day they fit it, and the very next day after that it is sent to dealerships. Even component manufacturers in India have, or OEMs have a few weeks or a few months of stock. So I don't think this is going to impact us in the short term. I don't think the parties involved in the conflict have an appetite to let this drag, or at least as I hope they don't have an appetite to let it drag. We also had the very same countries go at each other a few months ago, but that ended in about 12 days. I hope there's a quick end to this conflict, not only in terms of saving lives, but also in terms of not complicating livelihoods.
Right, sir. Thank you so much, Mr. Vigneshwar, for speaking to PTI, sharing insights into the detailed sales data.